Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to this musing. I still have Chris in front of me who's a little upset about the last game that we just played. So, my Leadbelcher list I don't think is good, but it's been doing well against Orcs and Goblins. And Chris was discussing that maybe foot wasn't the best approach.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess in the games we've played, I have gone for the foot, and it's done really good damage and like minimized the use of the lead belchers. But we were just talking, and I don't know if it's maybe better for me to hand of Gork everything one at a time, like an inch away from the Noblars. That way, he doesn't really have the room to maneuver them and just get everything into combat. The issue is that with that is that you basically with a castle formation, essentially just give them a unit the first time you do it until the second one comes up. Because then when the second one comes up, everything would be displaced. Does that make sense? Like, because the first time you move something up, it'll be an inch away, and then if you figure you have one block in front of it and two blocks next to it, Nick can link pictures to this if he wants to.
Right.
They could surround it, and basically you feed it. But if they don't kill it in one turn, then the next unit comes up as it hands. I don't know what the best way to do it is. I mean, in the last battle report, an issue part of the issue was the terrain, but that's a totally different story.
Well, the building wasn't the end of the world. It was the impassable all the way on the far side.
Yeah.
That didn't let anyone go. You let anyone through in horde formation.
Yeah.
If you went a little bit smaller, and actually went rank and file, and I understand Chris is a little lazy.
My issue with rank and file is I didn't want to re-rank 40 squigs and 10 night goblins into rank and file.
And I told him that's not a good excuse because being able to get your guys into combat is worth the re-ranking because, as you can see, nobody got into combat in the last game. But
it's entirely irrelevant. Don't worry about it.
I guess versus Orcs and Goblins against this style list, I guess I'll do all right. If it's MSU and there's a lot more random little shit, I might not be able to deal with it because it takes all the shots of the lead belchers into one unit. But I don't know. Smaller units will be easier to kill. But the one thing I've been kind of worried about is other lists. And I'm going to go through the armies.
There's submitted lists already?
What? No, just other people's lists.
Oh.
Like other armies. So Beastmen, I don't even know what I would see.
Right.
I mean, the big cannons, the Iron Blasters would take down.
Compared to this.
What?
Compared to this.
Then I'll do fine.
Yeah.
If it's compared to Orcs and Goblins, I'd do fine because there'd be one or two big monsters I'd take down with the Iron Blasters.
Mm-hmm.
Not too many infantry. Britonia, I would probably destroy because their 2-up armor would go to 4 versus the Leadbelchers, and then the Iron Blasters would just move around to get the front charge right down the ranks. So I'm not worried about them. Chaos Warriors, I played a game against Ryan, and I didn't do too well because he got first turn, which means the Demon Prince was right up in the area. I wasn't able to do enough shots, and I mean, I eventually killed him, but all my shots were focused on the Demon Prince, which means the Chimeras and all the other stuff came around and screwed me. So Warriors would be bad if I lost the first turn. Agreed?
Yeah.
Dark Elves, a lot of infantry. A lot of infantry.
Well against it.
I mean, the second someone gets to me, I'm just dead anyway, but if I have to kill a whole bunch of Witch Elves, I mean, I would be Iron Blaster shots at the Cauldron of Blood, and then, everything else, like those little units of 5, the Warlocks, a unit of 8 Leadbelchers would take them out. It's the Bolt Throwers I'm afraid of. They would slowly eat me apart.
Especially if you're castled up.
Yeah. Empire, I don't know. Depends on the kind of list. If it's a cavalry.
Stand and shoot.
I don't actually have stand and shoot.
Demi-grips apart.
Right, but only one at a time, unless I'm out on the flanks.
That's true.
I don't know. It really depends on the list. I mean, too many infantry could be an issue. But honestly, I have a solution for the big hordes, and that's the Noblars. The Trappers are the way to go, and they get in the way. But I mean, I don't know. The Leadbelchers, there's such a high randomness to them that I don't know if I'm going to get a lot of hits. And honestly, with the 5s to hit and the 4s and 3s to wound, I don't know.
Well, the Noblar work against the infantry, but if the army that you're facing has a remote amount of artillery that is accurate, it's different. Like with me, I have my Doom Divers or I have my Rock Lobbers, but like Rock lobbers aren't accurate for landing on something like that. And
Right.
doom divers are better spent in other places. Like if you're dealing with spear chuckers or like, bolt throwers or something, they could just pick apart the Nomlar and probably wouldn't even go for your, I don't know.
Right.
It depends. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I didn't realize that the stone throwers do the strength of the strength 9 shot when hitting buildings.
Yeah.
D6 hits at strength 9 if it's the small part. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, unfortunately it misfired, but that's a
Yeah.
whole different story.
All right, high elves I'm not afraid of at all, unless there is some high ward saves going on with their magic. Their infantry is going to be easy to wound, and any phoenixes or anything the Iron Blaster will take down. Lizardmen, I don't know anything about that book whatsoever.
It's okay.
So any of the big things, Iron Blasters will take care of.
Yeah.
The reason why I'm more comfortable with this list is they are allowing 2 Iron Blasters.
Yeah.
Orcs and Goblins, like we already went over.
Which is different than the last time we went, because the last time we went,
it was like
is
one
comp
Iron
to
Blaster.
1 Iron Blaster. Units were comp to 500 points or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Or something, where...
Right.
So it's a little different.
I think the bane to this list is actually Skaven.
Yeah, you can't
Iron
kill all
Blasters
that.
are going down the big stuff. Half the time the help hit's going to regen its wound. And there's just going to be so many bodies that I don't even know what I would do. I would honestly have to shoot all the stupid shit with everything, and then just have the lead belchers and the bulls just fight in combat and hope they don't die.
Yeah.
I would just have to take out the big nasty stuff. I mean, Doomwheel needs to go down, otherwise it's going to destroy shit real quickly. But yeah, Tomb Kings, I don't even care. They wouldn't even get to me. The last time I played Ryan, I would just wind blast his guys back, so they were moving -1 to 2 inches a turn, since his magic was to get off.
There's a battle report of that game.
Yeah, it's just sad. Vampire counts, I think I do all right. The stuff's moving slow. The big scary stuff is usually T4, T5. I could take that down with the lead belchers and the cannons against any of our guys.
Never count vampire counts out, though, man.
No?
I would never count vampire counts out.
I got 2 cannons to deal with the big shit.
Yeah, but all it takes is 1 combat vampire, and he will literally... The second he's in combat, if you can't kite him around, he will mess your world
Well,
up.
you forget, the second that this army is in combat at all, it's
It
dead.
loses.
Yeah,
It's
so like...
No, not in my case, because...
Well, because you sent in 1 Black Orc.
That's true. Yeah, I wouldn't count... If there's a vampire lord,
Uh-huh.
I don't know. He could get there in a unit of zombies and
That's true.
still wreck you.
Right.
Doesn't matter what he comes with, he will destroy you.
That's true. Well, that's where the Noblars come in. They just have to choke them up.
Yeah.
The last army's Wood Elves, but they don't. They
This
would,
what else?
they would get wrecked.
Yeah.
All their chaff and fast cap going around just wouldn't
And then once
last.
they get into combat, it's not like it would beat you.
Right. I might do a second video on this topic, or if people leave comments in this one. But the 2 big things I have to deal with this army is do I take Iron Guts so I can get the Banner of Discipline and get Leadership 9, but then have like no guys? I mean, the Bulls are great. I can get a handful more, but I only get 5 or 6 Iron Guts. I don't think it's worth it. And then the other thing is Magic didn't play a huge part in this game for me. I mean, I killed some of the chaff with the lightning bolts and stuff, but I can't take the Maw Magic. I feel like it would just not do well. I mean, the only thing that would be nice is Troll Guts. Everything else is like, who gives a shit? So
Yeah.
I have to pay the Butcher tax so I can get Lore of Heavens. So it's either Lore of Heavens and a Butcher, or Rune, Maw Magic and a BSB, because this list doesn't have a BSB, which is rough. So I'm running on Leadership 8 with my General, but I don't know. The same thing I tell Chris, if I'm fighting in combat, I'm going to lose. If I'm rolling leadership tests, that means I'm losing guys. I'm going to lose. But I don't know. I feel like this list might do all right.
It might do all right. It might do all right because everybody's going to be like, I don't even know what to do right now. It's got that shock value where by the time you figure it out,
Right.
you've probably already lost the game.
I'm hoping to just lose my first game so that I could just play a bunch of losers from in on out.
See, I'm hoping to not lose anymore because I lose to Nick too much.
Oh my gosh. So I read the list of armies off of the back of my old dwarf book, because the old books used to list the armies with everything except Ogre Kingdoms, because they weren't out yet, because this is the 6th edition dwarf book. And then I'm looking, I'm like, I'm forgetting someone. Dwarves.
Oh, yeah.
So they have to outshoot me which means I don't know. I have to shoot them down first. Take out their siege machines with the iron blasters. What do you think about the gyrocopters?
I don't know.
I mean, if they vanguard up, there's nowhere for them to move behind me though if I castle up.
Yeah.
And I feel like I could take out a gyrocopter return with the Leadbelchers. But if I'm wasting the Leadbelchers on shooting down an 80-point gyrocopter.
But if you don't outshoot the artillery, their close combat will destroy you, and the artillery will kill you.
But if they have a lot of artillery, then they're going a shooting list. If they're going a combat list, then I could shoot most of their combat crap down. The hammerers will die.
If I'm watching shooting dwarves against shooting ogres, I might open up a freezer and watch an ice cube freeze for fun. I don't really. To me, that doesn't sound all that entertaining.
Well,
and to me, that doesn't sound like a game you'd play.
The hammerers I would take down. The ironbreakers I would not be doing too well against. Slayers, if there are any, have no armor, they'd be killed. But they'd have to deal with all the Noblar units. So they'd slowly be taking difficult terrain tests. But yeah, the second they get to me, I'm screwed.
Gonna watch an ice cube.
You're gonna watch
freeze.
it. All right. Well, I'm hoping not to play against dwarves, despite the fact that there's going to be so many new dwarfs, so many players since the new book's out.
There were a lot of dwarf players there last time when we went,
Yeah.
and there wasn't a new book, so I wouldn't be surprised if there were even more.
Well, the first game I played was against a dwarf player, and he bunkered in the corner, which was super effective. And then there was this building in the middle, this exact building, the Mordheim building.
Yeah.
Screw it. But yeah.
That was
I
the
don't know.
Frost Dwarf guy, right?
Yeah, the guys that were all like in the snow and everything. So, but I don't know. I think they'll do all right if they don't get shot down too quickly. I mean, a high elf shooting list might be able to do them. A couple chariots and some archers and stuff. Because the Leadbelchers and the bulls have no armor really. But so yeah, I still have to think about Iron Guts versus bulls and the magic situation. So if you guys have any comments, feel free to leave them below. But thanks for watching this musing, or listening for this matter, and
Take care.
see you soon. Bye.